Right. Welcome. We will go ahead and get started, and we might have some friends joining us, and we'll just let them in as we go. We are so excited to have you with us today. I am Susan, or Dr. Susan. I use she, her pronouns. I'm joining you from Irving, Texas, right outside Dallas, literally right across the street from DFW Airport, if you've ever flown in to our fair city. And I am so excited to be working with my fellow ritual maker, Bobby Kim. We have worked together off and on for a lot of years and engaged in some pretty cool magic. So it's fun to take it out into this virtual world. I come out of kind of a goddess-based tradition, and I'm really interested in the craft and earth-based spirituality as a path to liberation and justice. And that's the work that I do here in Dallas. The space that we're creating today is what I refer to as brave space. That's not my concept. That's a concept that comes from Black feminist theory. So I want to honor my teachers, Bell Hooks and Kimberly Crenshaw, and the thousands of Black women that are out doing this work on the daily in their communities and whose names we might never know. A brave space is a space where people feel empowered to be vulnerable and to take risks that are appropriate for them. We're all here to hold space for each other and support each other. A brave space is also a space where you can choose what feels right for you and not. So we can't always keep each other safe, but we can help each other be brave. And that's what we're here to do today, and all of us hold that space together. So thank you for coming and creating a space where we can all support each other and we can all celebrate and have joy and work on getting free together. I'll turn it over to Bobby Kim.
Hey y'all, my name is Bobby Kim. Thanks for joining us in Ritual today. First off, I use they, them pronouns, and I'm one of your co-hosts for this afternoon. I'm a queer witch from West Texas, but I'm now living and creating in Baltimore. I'm the founder of Dust and Rust, which is my platform to share my magical tools, kits, and offering. This is my first virtual event to host, and as a cyber witch, I'm super excited to be transcending time and space to be with all of you today. Out of all the really cool things we have planned in the next couple of hours, it's my hope that everyone finds at least one thing that resonates with them. Beltane to me is all about feeling connected to the earth and one another. It's the time of year where we let the icy cold of winter melt off our backs and celebrate the emergence of spring. This year in particular, re-emerging from the dark months has more weight, as we are also starting to experience life outside of quarantine. So let's move forward with our grounding meditation.
Helps if I unmute. Mark the day and time. Dr. Susan was actually silent for 30 whole seconds. So we're just going to take a moment to kind of get grounded in the space. We can't be physically together, but we can use the amazing technology we have at our disposal to connect us. So I'm going to invite you to kind of settle in to the space where you're sitting or lying or lounging, whatever makes sense to you. Know that you can move around and do whatever your body needs at any point during our time together. And start to kind of pay attention to your breath. You don't have to manipulate it, or there's no judgment. Just become aware of it. We're going to be settling into our space and beginning to settle into our bodies. Know that you get to decide what that looks like and what feels safe and right to you. If at any point, anything I say to you in the next few minutes doesn't feel right, it's totally optional. And if you have ways that if things start to feel uncomfortable or whatever, that you bring yourself back to the present moment, you can absolutely do that. I have been there, and I have a way that I touch my left hand with my right that helps bring me back if I start to go into the stratosphere, but whatever is comfortable and right for you. So begin to settle and tune into your breath. You might move or wiggle your body if you like. Feel where it comes in contact with your chair or your bed or your couch or your floor, whatever you're sitting on. Take a deep breath in and out, and just notice if there's a space where your breath gets stuck or where it gets sort of hard or you want to release it. No judgment. We're just noticing. It's just information. If you want, you can raise your shoulders up and roll them back. I like to do that. If you have rotator cuff stuff, don't do that. I'm not a chiropractor. I'm not that kind of doctor. So obviously anything that doesn't feel right for your body, don't do. Take a deeper breath in. If you can, imagine feeling your lungs and your chest. A lot of us breathe from the top. And sometimes that's appropriate for our bodies, but sometimes we do well with a deep breath. Just take a deep breath in and out, and imagine yourself settling. On your next deep breath in and out, imagine roots moving from the base of your spine or the bottom of your feet or someplace where you have contact with the floor surface or the earth, depending on where you are. And take a deep breath in and out and send your roots down into the earth. Take a moment to give gratitude to the piece of earth on which you live. I am coming to you today from the unceded territory of the Caddo, Wichita, and Comanche people. Take a deep breath in and send your deep roots down. If you know the name of the indigenous people from your area, you can acknowledge that in your heart. If when we sort of come out of this, you want to put that information in the chat, that's great. I'm dedicating part of my work today for liberation and justice, to the liberation of and justice for Indigenous people, both in my area and everywhere. Just take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, imagine your breath moving and connecting with the other people in our space. You can picture specific faces of people you know that are here or people that you see on the Zoom screen, or just send it out. I like to picture my breath moving out through one of my hands. And then as I breathe in, coming in the other side to create a circuit, but whatever image works for you. Take a deep breath in and feel people connecting with you from across the country, from across the world. We have people from everywhere with us today. And as you breathe out, send connection to them. Imagine the fiber optics and the energetic connections that allow for us to be together on this platform, being the circuits that connect us in our magical circle, in our community, in our brave space. And we'll empower this space with our collective breath. And I invite you to breathe in and out at a pace that makes sense for you. Well, I want to share with you some beautiful words about breath. Somebody pointed out to me once when I was speaking about working for justice as an act of co-conspiracy, that to co-conspire, to conspire literally means to breathe together. And so we breathe together in this space to create liberation for us and for all things, all people, all beings. And these are beautiful words from Lynn Unger, who's a Unitarian Universalist poet that I enjoy. Breathe, said the wind. How can I breathe at a time like this, when the air is full of smoke, of burning tires, of burning lives? Just breathe, the wind insisted. Easy for you to say, if the weight of injustice is not wrapped around your throat, cutting off all air. I need you to breathe. I need you to breathe. Don't tell me to be calm when there are so many reasons to be angry, so much cause for despair. I didn't say to be calm, said the wind. I said to breathe. We're going to need a lot of air to make this hurricane together. Breathe in and feel our circle come full circle back to you. Know that we are connected outside of space and time, as well as in this cyberspace and time. Our circle is created. We each hold a spot on the rim so the work, the sacred, can be in the center. Take a deep breath in, and we'll welcome the quarters and the elements.
Now that we are all feeling more grounded and present, we're going to create our sacred space by calling in the four corners with witches around the US. This circle will exist in virtual space and is not meant to exclude anyone who does not reside within the United States. Our goal is to transcend borders and physical distance. Moving forward from this point in the ritual, please be conscious of leaving the circle without breaking the circle. You can literally cut a doorway while you're at your device, walk through, and then close the door behind you as to not let any of the energy escape. So moving on to Mary Schock, a tarot reader and dear friend. She will be calling in the East from Baltimore, Maryland.
Hi, thank you, Bobby Kim. Can you all hear me? Cool. Thank you for having me. Happy May Day. Yeah, so I'm Mary, she, her. I'm here in Baltimore on the East Coast, Piscataway land, and let's call in East. Hail and welcome, East. Hail and welcome, Guardian of the East, Queen of Swords, because I'm a tarot witch. A lot of my magic comes from tarot. Swords are air, and to me, East. The Queen of Swords is, for me, the perfect embodiment of spring and the perfect guardian for East. So I want to call and welcome East and its guardian, the Queen of Swords. They go by many names: the creator of bells, priestess of swords, classic Queen of Swords. And I love bells to represent air, singing joyful music, East, bells, air. The Queen of Swords is so powerful. Calling in Queen of Swords today, we call in her ability to go inwards, to look within, because air is vision. East, we look to the rising sun, vision, communication, clarity. Queen of Swords holds all of that within us. But I think of Queen of Swords as waiting at the gate as a protector with the sword, protecting us so that we can go within. So that's the job they're doing. Spirit holder of the East, like nurturer of the East, holds the gate so I can go within to get inspiration, clarity, new thoughts. I'm so grateful to Queen of Swords and grateful for the East. And I hope that you all feel the inspiration, the clarity, new thoughts, rising sun of the east. And I hope you really feel the protection and the fierce, fierce protection of the Queen of Swords. To end, I want to read from the Herbal Tarot deck, the affirmation for Queen of Swords. I am willing to take my visions and dreams and share them with the world around me. Hail and welcome East, hail and welcome Queen of Swords. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. So for the South, we're doing something a little special. We have my old friend, Rachel Gunter, who is actually the person to introduce me to witchcraft years ago. She's introducing the South via recording today. Let me just share.
We call to the spirits of the South to join us in our circle. Tonight, we light our candles and our bonfires to conjure fire, the spark of life. This universe began in fire, a great explosion scattering light and stardust into the abyss. Each one of us carries a flame of that fire, the legacy of countless generations. Let our fire be revolution. Let our fire be creation. Let our fire consume and obliterate the systems of oppression that bind us. Let our fire become the kiln in which we forge ourselves anew. Sacred fire, be with us. So mote it be.
Now let us all light our candle as one. Harmony Moon is an artist and musician calling in the West from Southern California.
Hi, everyone. My name is Harmony. I'm actually coming from Kauai land, and I'm really excited to be here. So I want to call upon the spirits of the West, guardians and beings of water. Please bless this circle with love and cleansing, healing waters for all the land. I'm so grateful to be here with you all in this space. When I think about water, I think about flow. And I think about kind of like this waterfall and the cycle of the water, how it goes from the land to the ocean and how it's in our bodies and how we can infuse our water with our intentions. The water that I have with me today was actually infused with a full moon and calendula, sunflower. And here I also have with me some desert flowers, which are creosote. So all the creosote is blossoming in the desert right now. So there's yellow flowers everywhere. And I'm so thankful to be with y'all. So bringing the West with me, also from West Texas. So that's where I connected with BK. I'm so excited to share this ritual. It's been too long for me. So this is great. This is a new adventure for me. So thank you all for joining and contributing your energy. It's so beautiful.
Hail and welcome. Thank you, Harmony.
Welcome.
We are now Step from my online Queer Witch Coven will be calling in the North from Philadelphia.
Hi, I'm Stet. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I'm calling in from Philadelphia, so I'm calling on the North. We call on the North to honor the earth The earth made us. We are earth's. It is not ours. We came from the earth, and one day we will return to the soil's embrace. Remember, we live on stolen land. The earth cradles the bones of all our ancestors, the colonizers and the colonized. There is room to honor our ancestors for their place in our coming to being, while simultaneously addressing the wounds both perpetuated by them and onto them. We are here in this circle and on this planet to heal our entire lineage. As you run your fingers through or rub your pinch of soil, feel your connection to the earth, to your ancestors, and to all of our ancestors. We are the children of earth. We ask for your blessing. We bid you hail and welcome. Thank you.
Hail and welcome. So now we will open this space up to anybody to call upon a deity, spirit, or ancestor that they work with. You may do so out loud in your own space or in the chat. All right, Susan, you ready to move on to the next activity?
I am. Welcome to all the deities and spirits and ancestors, whether they've been welcomed out loud in your space, in the chat, or just in the silence of your own heart. They are here. I just got to take a moment and revel. That circle casting was amazing. So thank y'all for that, both the quarter callers and the people that witnessed that. That was really beautiful. Thank you. So part of our work today, because we, as Bobby Kim and I were thinking about putting this together, we're thinking about the common themes and about how when we have Beltane in public, it's often like a very sensual, very sexy, very fun holiday, which is part of what makes it fun. But if we look back to its roots historically, it was a holiday to bless and protect what was yours. And we thought about that in the context of the world we're living in now. And we thought about the themes of justice, freedom, embodiment, labor with dignity, and the ways in which we reclaim our own bodies, the ways in which we reclaim kind of the body politic, and how when we work for our individual liberation, we can connect that work to collective liberation. And that is, for both of us, very important work. It's also big. So we decided to work with a sigil, which you see pictured behind Bobby Kim there. And that was the result of taking those words and going through a process where I take all the vowels out and take the consonants and sort of squish them together and then see how they want to get together. So I'm going to invite people to draw the sigil, and Bobby Kim will walk you through that. You can draw it with paper and pen or pencil or marker. If you want to draw it on your body, that's great, either with marker or ink or just with your energy. If you have the oil or lotion that we ask you to bring in, you can even sort of massage and begin a process of blessing your body by making that sigil. You can feel free to use the sigil. It is out for the world. Make a copy of it to put in your wallet, to carry in your car, put on your altar wherever you do your work. So I'm gonna have, I think Bobby Kim's gonna share there it is. And we're gonna sort of walk through that. So as we create our sigil, all right, we're gonna draw it together. We're gonna start with a thought for justice and freedom. And our justice and our freedom is connected to our embodiment and our labor, what we do with our bodies and for our bodies. how we create the basis for liberation and justice through on-the-ground work and connection. How we begin to see how our individual liberation is bound up with collective liberation, and how collective liberation is bound up with individual liberation. How we work to create something that is greater than the sum of our individual efforts, to create something that is beautiful, that echoes across space and time, that echoes like the waves in the ocean, that echoes like the calls of the birds, to bring change, to bring freedom. And feel free to work with that sigil as we move forward in any of our other magical workings today, and in your magical workings outside of this space. That image is a collective work that Bobby Kim and I worked on together, and we give it to you as a gift, as you are giving us the gift of being with us, and we invite you to give it as a gift to the world.
All right, so let's move forward with our collective weaving. So we're going to be embodying the spirit of the maypole with this exercise. We'll be tying together 10 consecutive knots, and you can do any knot that's special to you, but I'd recommend something like a simple overhand knot. For this exercise, there's no wrong way to tie the knot. As we go, your knots can be tied on top of the first, underneath, etc. Everyone's piece of string will look different at the end, but we'll go slow. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. So you're going to fold your piece of string in half. And then at the very top, begins tying the first knot. Can you see it? By the knot of 1, the spell has begun. Start tying the second knot. By the knot of 2, our intentions come true. By the knot of 3, know that we can all be free. By the knot of 4, think about how you can help more. By the knot of 5, take a look at your community and feel grateful to be alive. By the knot of 6, in the spirit world, we mingle and mix. By the knot of 7, we move forward, progression. By the knot of 8, all haters we negate. By the knot of 9, we merge together, intertwine. By the knot of 10, we come together, heal together, again and again. And as you're finishing up here, really feel the energy that you tied into your string. Start thinking about what could make your community stronger. Think about how you can better yourself for your community. Think about how your community can show up for you. Now you can keep this in your pocket in your car, on your nightside table, or in your kitchen windowsill. Each time you look at it, you will remember that we are stronger together. I just want to see, looks like people are still catching up here. Hold it up whenever you're done so we have an idea of when we can move forward. We'd like to see them all together. Beautiful.
I wish mine had been longer.
It's great. Mine kind of jumbled up into this one big knot, but cool.
There's no wrong.
It is a special string. I don't know where it came from, but it's black and white. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it, so it's been a lot of things.
I think that this is a great opportunity for us to take a quick 5-minute break. So get yourself some water, go to the bathroom, maybe a little snack. Beltaine's all about feasting, so please indulge.
Welcome back. Settle back in from your break. Anything you need to be comfortable. Kind of take a couple deep breaths and settle back into ritual space, whether you moved physically out of the space or just back into kind of the thought space that we're in, if you stayed in. And as you settle in, we invite you to take some time with us. We have a beautiful meditation that is going to bring us in to our bodies and allow us to bless our bodies. This is led by Matt Williams. He's a dancer and somatic facilitator from Baltimore and who's generous enough to share this with us. Beltane is, for many of us, about the body, and that can be sometimes in terms of sexuality, but also in sensuality and the way that we relate to our own bodies. We live in a culture that encourages many people, many of us, to have very fraught relationships with our bodies. And sometimes we get kind of trite messages about, you have to love your body, in response to trying to work through that fraughtness. And quite honestly, for a lot of us, that's trauma. We can't always just flip a switch and decide we love our bodies, but we can treat our bodies with positive self-regard and look at our bodies as something that we're also working for liberation for. When we have collective liberation, it changes the narrative around bodies and how they should be and how they shouldn't be. And so we invite you to celebrate yourself and engage in some steps towards body liberation today with this exercise by Matt. If you have lotion or oil that you brought with you, that might be useful either as part of this meditation or as we move out of it as another way to give yourself loving touch, or if you're attending with a partner or a friend, to give each other loving sensual touch. So I will turn it over to the fabulous Matt Williams.
Hello. So this will be a meditation for settling in your body, and we're going to be doing that today by pendulating our attention between different parts of our body, as well as between our body and the environment around us. So let's begin this meditation with finding a comfortable space for your body. You can be sitting, you can be lying down. If you really wanted to be standing up, you could stand up also. I happen to be sitting on my couch right now. And let's tune into our relationship with gravity, that sort of downward force that is attaching us to the earth. And let's also, as we tune into gravity, also tune into the support of whatever is under you. Could be the floor, it could be a piece of furniture, and under that is the foundation of the house or a building you might be in, and underneath that is the earth and the many layers of the earth that are beneath us. So let's tune in to those, just all of this support we have right now. Let's do a quick body scan, starting with the head, melting down the back and sides of the neck, down the traps and shoulders and upper arms, down the back, the shoulder blades, the belly, all the way down the arms, the hands, tips of the fingers, down to your pelvis, down your thighs, your femurs, your knees, your shins, calves. Just checking in while also tuning into that sense of gravity. Down the feet, the toes, just checking in. And now I'll ask you to pick a part of your body that feels okay. You might feel a sense of neutrality there, or a sense of ease. And see if you can hold that part of your body in your attention. Your eyes can be open or your eyes can be closed. How do you know that you feel a sense of ease there? What's the texture? Where is it located? What are the sensorial qualities? And just rest there at that sort of resource, that resource of ease, that sense of okay. And again, how do you know? And now, pick another spot on your body that maybe doesn't feel as easeful. Maybe there's a little bit of tension there, maybe a little bit of pain. But just pick something with kind of a low grade of dis-ease. And just check that out. See if you can just observe it, and be with it. If it feels right or okay, I'll invite you to maybe place a hand on that part if it needs a little bit of attention. Also, see if you can notice the edges of that part of your body. We don't want to go too deep into it. We just want to notice the edges. We want to notice it within the context of the rest of our body. All right. Now I'm going to ask you to, or I'll invite you to, just notice your feet. My feet happen to be in contact with the floor. Start with your left foot. Where is it in contact with the floor? What qualities exist within that contact? Now I'll invite you to wiggle your toes. You can do so very gently or vigorously, whatever feels right to you at the moment. If you can wiggle individual toes, feel free to do that, starting with the little toe, the fourth toe, the third, the second, and the big toe. Now let's move over to the other foot. Tune in to the qualities of contact with the floor, where it touches, where it doesn't touch. Just do a short little scan of that foot. Now I'll invite you to find some motion in the toes, either very gently or a little bit more vigorously. Feel free to move individual toes, the little toe, the fourth toe, the third toe, the second toe, and the big toe. And again, eyes opened, eyes closed, whatever works for you right now, whatever feels most supportive. And now let's turn to the hands. And I'll invite you at the same time to bring the pads of your thumb and index fingers together. And just make some light contact. Feel the textures of your fingerprints and the finger pads. You can look at them. I happen to be looking at them right now, and that feels supportive for me. Or you can have your eyes closed. Maybe feel some breath down into the belly and pelvis. And now move to the middle finger with the thumb, the middle fingers with the thumb. thumbs. Feel the texture. And move to the next finger. And finally, the little finger. And feel free to be with this longer if you'd like, or to continue with it as we move on. Now I'll ask you to return to whatever place in your body you selected that had the most ease. Just check that out again. See if anything changed. And see if you can also hold in your attention whatever place in your body had a little bit of dis-ease. See if anything changed or didn't change. There's no right or wrong. We're really just being with and observing. And again, not going too deeply into anything. We're really trying to resource here between our feet and the ground, our hands, that place of ease, and whatever may have changed with that place of dis-ease. See how many of those you can sort of hold in your attention. Really looking for what is just right now. Now I'll invite you to, if your eyes are closed, allow them to open and just see the space around you. Maybe allow your head and neck to follow your eyes. And just orient. Where are you? Where are you right now? Tracking the space you're in while also tracking what's going on sensorially in your body. We've got gravity melting. We've got the support underneath us. I am here. I am here.
I think this is a great point for us to take a nice big collective breath in and out. Let us orient ourselves back into this space, this wonderful, lovely space that we all created together. Everybody that's here right now is contributing in so many profound ways, and everyone on the replay will be doing so as well. You know, the more people that we get in on this, the stronger that it comes. Super grateful that Matt could share that with us. They weren't able to make it in person, so they sent us a recording. But yeah, again, super grateful for that wonderful exercise. All right, Dr. Susan, You want to take it on to our next one?
Yeah, I will. That was really amazing. Like, just beautiful. So I think it's no surprise to any of us that living under capitalism encourages us to think of our bodies as only the instruments by which we produce labor for capital. And in liberating our bodies and claiming them as our own and building different relationships with them, I think that's an important step towards taking this system down. Because we know that the bodies of laborers, especially in a society with no universal health care and all these things that we've suddenly been having, I think, really important and more ever more nuanced conversations about over the pandemic. We're not just resources. We're not just resources. We're not just replaceable bodies to work like machines. And when we reject that, I think we start to take down the foundation of the system. It's no surprise also to anyone that this year has been particularly hard for laborers, but we're also seeing a resurgence in class consciousness and labor consciousness in places that, quite frankly, I have been surprised and excited about. And so we wanted to connect the fact that today is Beltane with the fact that it is also International Workers' Day, and take some of the energy we built in liberating our bodies to direct towards the liberation of everybody that labors. And so I invite you, this would be a good time to draw the sigil again if you want, or to work with your knots or whatever feels right, if just to breathe. You can repeat with me. I'll put the incantation in the chat, or you can just listen to the sound of my voice, and then we'll take a collective breath in and out at the end of this. This came to me via basically a spontaneous download at about 11:15 this morning. So I hope that I hope that we can use it to focus. Take a deep breath in. On this International Day of the Worker, on this Beltane, on this May Day, we reclaim and assert the hard-won rights of the worker, the rights of the laboring body, the rights of the body of laborers, those rights that were germinated in the bowels of the coal mine, that drew their first breath on in the lint-filled air of the cloth mill floor, that were forged in the inferno of the triangle fire, that were watered by the tears shed for the thousands of lives lost to capital's greed. And we invoke the indomitable spirit of the worker, which rises like a phoenix in the center. We reclaim our bodies. We reclaim our time. We assert that our labor is not all that we have to offer. We demand that our labor be recognized and fairly compensated. We demand that we are paid wages that not only allow us to live, but which encourage us to thrive. We cannot live by bread alone. We must also have roses. We will claim our roses while we're still here. And so it is.
Next, we'll be moving on to the unemployment spell. I'm about to post that in the chat so everyone can follow along. Hold on one sec. Technical glitch. Oh my gosh. Well, it's not letting me share it in the chat, so looks like folks will just have to listen today.
I can try to copy paste it into the chat.
Oh, beautiful, thanks. So in addition to being in solidarity for those who are overworked and undervalued, this past year, we've seen higher numbers than ever of folks who are unable to work at all. This spell was created out of my own need while my unemployment case was pending for 6 months. The day after I transcribed the spell, I got a call that my claim had gone through. So I hope that we're able to pass along this magic to others who are in need. Great Spirit, grant us the opportunity to provide for ourselves. We call upon abundance to help us make ends meet. May we be given the gift of grace so that we may navigate through endless phone menus with relative ease. May we possess the ability to recall and report past and present job information correctly. We call in patience for each step of the process. We banish what feels like endless hold times and dismissive responses. Bring us a reminder to file our weekly claims. Grant our caseworkers the knowledge to push us into the right channels. Let us let go of any resentment towards the caseworkers while still holding the people in power accountable. May all of our action items be resolved. May all of our pending cases be resolved. May all technical issues be resolved. May all disputes with previous employers be won in our favor. May all of our appeals be met with justice. May all of our answers be brought to the surface. May we receive the maximum amount because we deserve the maximum amount. May we release all shame from asking for help. May we use this time to rest deeply. May we ultimately find work that is fulfilling. And may the stimulus package, including unemployment, Medicaid, direct financial help, and EBT, be extended to continue to care for those struggling in the system. By the power of life, death, and rebirth, so mote it be.
Take a collective breath, and if you are not somebody who is navigating this system, take the energy you feel from that and maybe think of somebody that you know who is struggling with this system and hold them in your heart and send a little piece of this spell to them and out to the world. So we're going to take just a moment to like soak in the space for a moment, and then we're going to open our circle to some joyful movements, if that is something you'd like to do, or enjoying joyful movements. Bobby Kim has a fabulous playlist for y'all. I'm so excited. We've done amazing work for justice, but justice means less if it's not accompanied with joy. So we want to have a blending of that. I also just want to take a moment and thank everybody for being here. This was amazing. I've been in a lot of Zoom circles over the last year, and this is probably the most connected I've felt to a group of, a couple of you, but most of you were strangers to me an hour and a half ago. So thank you for that. Thank you for coming with your heart and your spirit just wide open and honoring the space and honoring yourself and honoring, what you needed in the moment. I could just feel it come through our little cyber circle. So we're going to open our circle. We're not going to kind of banish it and close it and make it go away. We are going to open it in a way where we each take a piece of it with us and that it carries into the world with us even beyond the time where we hit the end meeting button today. and where you can take a piece of this circle and this experience into your world, into the magic you do with others, into the magic that you do with yourself. So take a moment and kind of find that still place that we found at the beginning before we brought the elements in when we were breathing together, and see if you can really tap into that feeling of connectedness and circuit. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up today, for giving yourself the gift of this time, this space, this company, this magic. There were a couple of folks in the chat that said this is the first ritual they've ever done, or the first online ritual they've ever done. And it is an honor to have been able to create that space with you. And it wouldn't have been the same without you. It wouldn't have been the same without each one of us. Take a moment to thank each other for the gift of this time, this space, and this community. You can hold individual faces or names in your mind, or you can just send gratitude to those around you. We'll receive it. Take a deep breath in and give thanks for the technology that created this space for us, and also to the physical space in which you work today, for creating a brave space in which to do this work and create these connections. And take a deep breath in and out, and thank Spirit in whatever way it showed up for you today. If you have specific ancestors, guardians, or deities, or other guides and spirits that came, send them gratitude. Even if the way that the divine showed up for you today was just the spark of divinity in yourself and other people, send gratitude for that. And then take a deep breath in and bring the energy of this circle, a little piece of it, into your heart, or into wherever you feel like the seat of your power is, so that you can take it with you, and you can also give pieces of it away. And take a deep breath in. West, south, east, north, thanks to those that we've called forth. Water, fire, air, earth, return you now to Gaia's girth. The circle is open, but unbroken. It exists within all of us. Blessed are we all, and we'll see you in the streets and the circles and the halls of power until we're all free.
Thanks, Dr. Susan. That was beautiful. This whole event has just been beautiful. I had a dream last night that I was traveling with a huge container of rainbow colored snakes. And I woke up this morning and I was like, this ritual is going to be amazing. Moving into like what I love most about Beltane, honestly, is the big party, the big celebration. And as me, as a dancer, it's been, this past year has been really hard for me because yes, I can dance alone in my kitchen, but it's not the same as dancing with all my friends and moving with them energetically. So I really wanted to embody that feeling of dancing around the fire with your friends here in cyberspace. So I'm going to kick it off with our playlist. We're going to take turns spotlighting different people on the chat. Please feel free to move or not move, whatever feels comfortable. If you want to do some finger waves, please send them our way. Let me